I had all those underground circles with the trafficking and all that. I had it, the blockchain, the wireless body area network, the dark web. It all ties in, like they all tie in. Like they say that your boys' videos are being sold on the dark web right now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, a lot of those. They say, oh, what happened to the little migrant children? Like they're being sold on the blockchain and shit. Like
yeah. There's a lot of illicit stuff going on. So yeah, God, that's one technology that we need to be mastering and doing the knowledge on, and preparing and thinking about 5 years from now. You know what I mean? I mean, if we're really serious about making and owning and controlling our own data, to your point, that's one way to do it. Otherwise, we got to come up with a lot of capital to build those information superhighways and the whole pipeline. Talking about, as we kind of building our own Amazon. And that's a lot of money. And not only just for running the data storage, but you got to think about electricity. The power is a huge cost. And it's only getting more and more expensive. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so now that brings me, because I don't know if you saw... They developed solar panels that are done that generate energy in the dark.
Oh yeah, well, I can see that.
Versus sunlight.
Those photovoltaics might store. They're perfected on that technology. They store more, but then they also got battery banks. Right. So a lot of the solar panels, they capture the energy from the sun and then they store it in the battery banks, and that's how they run at night too.
So I was
on
the
battery
plane
backups
coming into New York the other day, and on the plane coming into me, I'm seeing
solar farms,
like a bunch of solar farms.
That's a big thing, right?
That was crazy.
So that's another thing. So going back to economics again, in economics, you want to think about the vertical and the supply chain. Right now, original people, we still 100% consumers. We don't distribute a lot of things, and we don't produce a lot of things, hardly anything. And the people who control the economy and have the economic power are the producers. So again, it comes down to the question, are we producing anything, and what do we want to do? Okay, so we want to make it own, we need to start producing, but then you got to look at the whole supply chain stack and that whole vertical when you talk about producing. So when you talk about media and you talk about data, when you're producing data and you're producing a lot of it, you got to have somewhere to store it. And you need a lot of storage space. And Microsoft and Amazon have these problems, and Facebook, and they're spending a lot of money on that problem. You might have heard in the news that Microsoft just invested to restart 4 Mile Island, the nuclear power plant. So Microsoft is making deals with the nuclear power plants, to get the power to run their data centers so they can run more AI and all that stuff, and machine learning. But anyway, running data centers is very expensive. There's a whole lot of videos on YouTube you can see talking about this, with Bloomberg and CNBC talking about, like, one of the questions you asked me before, they call it Data Center Alley, which is in Northern Virginia. It's like 45 minutes from where I stay at, and they have problems with the power grid, and it's causing problems in people's homes because they have brownouts, because a lot of the data centers is drawing a lot more power, right? So it's affecting people's residential homes, and people are complaining. And you can watch videos on YouTube. They talk about it. They be at the town hall meetings like, my equipment's burning out because I got these little power fluctuations and power spikes and things. So yeah, Data Center Alley is called. Data Center Alley, just Google it. And Northern Virginia is a big area, and there's problems right now with they have plans to construct new data centers, and it's going to take them 10 years to put it online because they have to still build the power infrastructure to supply the data center. So they're telling the companies like Amazon, Google, you have to wait 10 years before we can hook up power, right? So they're like, what are we doing in the meantime? Well, let's go look at nuclear. So they're going back to nuclear. So anyway, I bring that up to say that for owning a media company and producing data and producing Amazon, we're going to have to look at the vertical. Like there was another Bloomberg episode I was just to, because I listen to a lot of Bloomberg, a lot of the Bloomberg TV shows and a lot of the podcasts, and there was a guy on there, he started up like some kind of a data center or data analytics company, and he was talking about, what was he talking about? Something with, his business was constrained because of power. Like they couldn't grow and really expand as fast as they wanted because they ran into that constraint with not having enough power, to run all the servers and systems. So anyway, all right, just to make sure everything is succinctly put, right, and tie this up, we're gonna need a lot of servers that house all the data, right? They call it like building data lakes and data oceans is like the word in data engineering, data science, which just means a bunch of banks of servers. You talking about all these racks and racks and racks and racks of servers and a data somewhere that stores all that data, and you need a lot of power. So now you got to think about, how do I manage that from the power to the hardware to store the data on it, which again goes back to, as a people,
in the real estate.
In the real estate, yes, owning this, right, owning the land to build the buildings on. But I mean, you can lease that, so I'm not really too much concerned about real estate. But however, you're right, we should be looking at owning everything from top to bottom, controlling the vertical.
Here's something.
But you need electrical engineers to deal with your power problem. You need not only with the power problem, but also the hardware problem. So you need electrical engineers who can bring in the power, wire it up to the hardware. You need computer engineers that's going to help you with the hardware and manage it, and you need data engineers to help you with the data on that. See what I'm saying?
So
you need to build a team.
Straight digital, or why not just start using DNA the way they doing it?
We not there yet, God. I mean, but even hold on, here's the thing. Even with the DNA, again, you're still going to need data engineers and probably biochemical engineers that understands that science.
You must do your own research, as I did.
INFMEGA did this.